Fox News, quote, "We are making important progress with representatives of the student encampment on the West Lawn. Student protesters have committed to dismantling and removing a significant number of tents. In light of this constructive dialogue, the university will continue conversations for the next 48 hours.
Fox's Brooke Singman, the Senate gives the green light to a $95 billion foreign aid package.
America sends a message to the entire world. We will not turn our back on you.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, nearly $61 billion for Ukraine, more than $26 billion for Israel, and just over $8 billion for Taiwan and other priorities in the Indo-Pacific. President Biden says he will sign the bill. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
Okay, it's hump day one more time. We're halfway or getting halfway through the week, the work week, that is. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
I'm Kelly Knapp. Kelly will be in shortly. She's got some business she's having to take care of first, but she'll be here in short order, no doubt. Boy, what a rocky world we're living in. We just heard Mr. Schumer say, "Oh, we're not going to turn our backs on the entire rest of the world who depends upon us." But you certainly turn your backs on the Texans, those fine folks from New Mexico, Arizona, the people who live along the border. What are you doing for them? What are you doing for the rest of us besides allowing all of these individuals to come in here? I know I was right the first time. You're bringing them in here. You're encouraging them to come here. And all they're doing is they're bloodsuckers. They're, sucking the life out of us. Ask New York, who's having to come up with another $70 billion.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So,
you ever just sat down
I know,
and thought about everything going
makes
on?
me so mad when I do that.
Think about everything that has affected you personally, your family, your businesses, what's going on in
Let's
the
take
world.
the businesses right now. I've started doing a little selling.
Yes.
In radio ads. Since I had some free time on my hand, now. And I called on one guy yesterday, and yes, they're limited, but they're going to do advertising with us. And
Right.
welcome aboard there to the Bobby Watson Carteret Community.
Great.
Speedway.
I
Great.
love
Oh,
that place.
I walked around there yesterday because I
It's
got there
beautiful.
early. All the flags that are flying, all of the feel good, the manicured infield, everything is so nice,
Beautiful.
so
It's a
clean.
beautiful place.
And so anyway, you'll hear more from them shortly. But then I'll stop by a place that used to do business with the station from another station that I was on. They used to do it when business was booming. It was a boat dealer. And they cannot even advertise now. They used to bust the doors down advertising and selling a lot of boats. Their
Right.
inventory is way down. And, they're just like every boat dealer in the country these days. They're singing the blues.
Yes.
The prices of boats have gone out of sight. They're outrageous.
Somebody I have talked to, it's like, well, we're doing okay on our own right now. We can't afford it.
We can't afford.
We can't afford
And
it.
they're caught between, it is a catch-22. It is a problem. They're caught between a rock and a hard place. If you don't advertise, you don't get business. If you advertise and can't afford it, you lose money.
Yes, sir.
So you're caught like trying to maintain. And that's awful. That's an awful place to be in. Just trying to maintain. And these folks who have just a few years ago decided they wanted to get into business, and business was booming, doing very well, and they did, and the bottom fell out. First, we had the
Yes.
manufactured COVID disaster. Not manufactured by us.
Right. Okay.
We just perpetuated it.
Right.
It was created by our friends in China, of which we still will not acknowledge and still will not take it. We need reparations from China. First of all, if I was president, I'd cancel all debt that we have to China. Say, no, we're not going to pay you because look what you did to us. You brought us to our knees and you still won't acknowledge it. So we're not going to pay you anything else ever again. We'll call it square. Now we don't have that $35 trillion in debt hanging over our heads. not with them anyway. That's the way that I would be dealing with this one. Does that not make sense? Instead of sending them money every year just for the interest that we owe, we give that to the business owners, the business people in this country to help them get back on their feet after that boondoggle that we went through for 3 long, miserable years and still recovering. Did you see
Yes.
that the one guy just died? He suffered from COVID for 600 plus days. He had it over 600 days, over 2 long years. He
Wow.
just passed away from COVID.
I was talking to a lady at the grocery store. She works there, and we were talking about COVID. It came up. And while we were talking about it, she said, well, I took the vaccine. She said, I did get it twice. She said, but I just wonder, and she said it was bad. And she said, I just wonder, had I not gotten the vaccines, would it have been worse? And these are questions that people ask every day.
Every day.
And while we are talking about it, I noticed a gentleman in the checkout line that I knew whose wife had passed away from COVID.
Mhm.
There was so much unknown about it.
And you don't know whether she took the vaccine or not, or maybe it wasn't
I don't
available.
think she did. From what personal knowledge, she did not.
Now, a lot of
but
people passed away before the vaccine became available.
That's
We know
right.
that.
That's right.
And since the vaccine has become available, a whole lot fewer people are contracting COVID, and
Yes.
those that do, very few pass away.
I think all that combined with people being more aware of being more sanitary,
Yes.
being careful, I think that's helped build an immunity. But people are still getting it, but not like the record numbers that we
No,
saw
we
before.
have people dying every week here in Onslow County.
But you know what? I question this. I ask you this. What if the government had not stepped in and thrown guidelines out there and
Who knows?
restrictions? Where would we be today? It's a catch-22.
You know, the biggest phrase in the world is "what if,"
That's right. Exactly.
and there is no answer to "what if."
Well, I think we've learned a lot since then, and
We
I
have.
think it's up to a person's discretion whether they want to take the vaccine or not.
It is.
Whether I still see people wear masks sometimes.
Oh, I see a few out in
You
the
know,
shopping.
and I look and maybe they have the flu, maybe they have a cold, maybe they're being conscious not to spread it. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I think we as Americans, we've learned a lot from that time period.
Well, I think a lot of people wear masks because they robbed every time they go out.
Yeah, I thought about that when
Instead
it
of
was
robbing,
mandatory
I
to wear a
think
mask.
Yeah.
How do you know if you're actually somebody coming in there wearing a mask
You
to
know,
shop or coming in to rob
The first time I went into my bank and everybody was required to wear a mask, I said, back in the old days, I would be pulling my gun walking into a bank with everybody having masks on.
you?
Wouldn't you? Think about it. Because that's the old people that used to wear masks all the time. Bad guys. Now you're a bad guy. At that time, you're a bad guy if you did not wear a mask.
Didn't you still kind of take a second look if you were in some place that was, you needed to watch your back and somebody walked in with a mask? Didn't
Oh,
you kind of look twice?
Oh, yeah, always. And just put my elbow on my hip just to be sure I was still there.
Yes.
I was still good to go.
Oh, good old
Guess who's
days.
joined us?
I'm here.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Had
Come
to
in
get
on
working early this morning,
on
did
a
you?
breath.
Started.
Did you get my advice?
Yeah, I got your advice.
He says, watch this, which one I'm going
Uh-huh.
to tell her. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you had a little telephone conversation with somebody with a situation. And
Yeah,
of course, when I used to do that with my doctor, she would just say, take 2 aspirin, call me in the morning. So
yeah.
that's the advice I gave you.
No, this was me with a client.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I didn't give them that advice. No.
Oh,
Yeah,
I would have.
they need more than aspirin.
Maybe we'll have
So,
take
yeah.
3 then. It's okay. I'm not going to
Yeah.
hurt you. Okay, lots going on. And I'm going to do what we're just discussing. What if the Supreme Court decide if Donald Trump or not, right?
Right. I think that starts
Or-
today.
Or what amount of immunity does he have?
In which case?
Well,
All of them?
let's just take any of them and all of them. We got one going on right now that's in progress in New York. That's the high profile one right
That's
now.
the hush money one.
That's the
Yeah.
hush
okay.
money one. What if what if the Supreme Court says, well, the president, he can have immunity either while he's in office for anything that he does, we'll grant him immunity for that, or we'll grant him immunity for crimes that are not related to his work while he was in office or is seeking office or whatever. Either one could be a real mess for the court system that's in progress right now.
Well, let me ask you this. So this hush money thing, because as you know, I don't really follow this.
But that happened.
What is
well
the
before.
crime? What is he accused of doing?
And see, here's a problem with all of that too. He's accused of trying to stop the public from knowing about his indiscretions by paying off a porn star.
But what's the crime?
I'm
We
trying to
have
get
it
there.
right
I don't
here.
know.
I can tell you.
But trying to pay hush money to keep the public from being aware of that. Now, that is, by the way, common practice. There's a whole lot of hush money paid out there.
Mhm.
They don't call it hush money. It's called other things.
Okay.
I can bring
It's
it right
paying
up
you to
here.
keep quiet, not to reveal certain topics or reveal certain subjects. I mean, there are contracts. You sign some when you join the military and you're paid.
But what's the crime?
Here
Well,
it
I
is
keep
right
asking.
here. The prosecution statement of facts. The defendant, Donald J. Trump, repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York business records to conceal criminal conduct that hid damaging information from the voting public during the 2016 presidential election.
What kind of damaging
It
information?
says he orchestrated a scheme with others to influence the 2016 presidential election by identifying and purchasing negative information about him to suppress its publication and benefit the defendant's electoral prospects.
What is the crime?
They're
That's what
saying
I'm
he
asking.
violated election laws, which
But-
that's up to the FEC to take out. And they said they found no violation.
That's right.
And it goes on saying that one component of the scheme was that at the defendant's request, a lawyer who then worked for the Trump Organization as special counsel covertly paid $130,000 to an adult film actress shortly
A
before
porn
the
star.
election to prevent her from publicizing a sexual encounter. And then they are saying that this lawyer, which
Okay, but let me interrupt
well,
you
let
real
me
quick.
finish this one
Okay.
sentence. Made the $130,000 payment through a shell corporation he set up and funded at a bank in Manhattan. This payment was illegal, and the lawyer has since pled guilty to making an illegal campaign contribution and served time in prison.
Okay, so if the woman,
He made the illegal
Yeah.
campaign contribution
Well, see, Trump is arguing that he paid this man lawyer fees,
as
and it was
a fee.
donated as lawyer fees.
okay, but hold up. But what my question becomes, if this woman said, if you don't pay me $5 million, I'm going to tell everybody that we had sex 52 times. Isn't that extortion?
Yes.
Well, yes, true, but they're saying that. Well, see, I don't know personally what the agreement was between Stormy and Trump and
What
the
I'm
lawyers.
saying is, though, I'm just generically saying, that extortion is a crime?
Yes.
Okay,
Why isn't she up on charges?
correct.
I don't know. Ask Brad.
That's my next
no,
question
maybe
for
it
her.
wasn't extortion. Maybe it was a civil agreement between the two sides.
Oh,
If
okay.
someone
So if
says
it's a
if you
civil
pay-
agreement,
Yeah, then that. But if it's a civil agreement, it's not a crime.
well,
It's civil.
a civil agreement could be, okay, you know what? I'm going to write this book. No, I'll pay you all this money for you not to write this book.
Okay,
Write a
yeah,
story.
but that's still not a crime.
Right.
Tell me what
On-
the crime
on his
is.
part.
I'm just asking. I'm not trying to defend Donald Trump. I'm just flat out asking.
Hiding,
a question.
it's more or less hiding money into a shell company, falsifying business records, etc.
Uh-huh.
Falsified business records.
This is what they're saying. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying this is what the prosecution statement is. So
I don't understand. But okay.
It's convoluted, and I'm not sure a jury is going to be able to understand all of it. Bill, is that you? Yep, Bill gone.
He went for more
I
coffee.
think that's
Now I think we have Steve, right?
Steve.
There we
Good
go.
morning, guys.
Good morning.
How y'all doing today?
Doing fine.
I hear you. I was listening to y'all talking about the Trump case,
hmm
and I think maybe I could add some clarity to it. The crime that he committed, or they're saying he committed, is that the way they structured the repayment of the $130,000 to Michael Cohen was business fraud. And what the prosecution said yesterday was they have Alan Weisselberg's handwritten notes on the bank statement from Michael Cohen showing where he paid the $130,000, and Alan Weisselberg wrote out on that ledger exactly how they were going to commit the fraud.
hmm
And Alan Weisselberg also the one who's in prison because he was keeping 2 sets of books for the Trump organization. So the crime is the falsification of business records.
That was against
If
Cohen.
he would- I'm sorry.
That was for Cohen, right?
Well, that wasn't for Cohen. Cohen was the illegal campaign contribution, I believe.
That's what I'm talking
and,
about.
And he actually went to jail for lying about the Trump Moscow.
Yep.
Trump Tower in Moscow.
So he didn't go to jail for committing this offense that people say was an offense. He went to jail because he lied.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So as far as we
But-
know, there's no conviction for him committing any offenses other than lying, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Correct.
That's what
My
we're trying to
understanding.
get to the bottom of, Steve. And this thing
Right.
is so convoluted. And,
Honestly, yeah, I was gonna say honestly, I think this is a trivial case. I think it's he has committed far more egregious acts and has far more serious charges against him than this. So to me,
so this is a
This is one
political
they
stunt.
could've let go,
Do you think this is a political
prosecutors
stunt?
have a way. I'm sorry.
Do you think this trial is a political stunt on Bragg's part?
I wouldn't go that far as to say it's a political stunt, because a political stunt, when you start scrutinizing the evidence, it falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
If they've actually got evidence of a crime, then even if they were politically motivated in pursuing it, they have evidence of a crime.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can't, regardless of their motivation, if the evidence shows the crime was committed, then the evidence shows the crime was
Do you
committed.
think they were politically motivated?
It's possible. What their motivations are. How many DAs out there are politically motivated in every prosecution they do, where they're trying to aspire to be a, attorney general or,
Mhm.
So political motivation happens all the time. It's just whether their accusations are accurate and they have evidence to back it up.
Mhm.
Their motivations at that point are really irrelevant.
There are a lot of cases and a lot of illegal acts that occur every day in this country, right? And it's tough for a district attorney because I know several, but and have known many over the years, and it's tough for them to look at a case and say this is really something we need to. After obviously they're going to go after first degree murder cases of rape, violent crimes. They're going to be some of the others they're going to look at and say, first of all, and every DA will tell you one of the things they will look at. I don't care how much evidence that we have that we know that we feel is good evidence. Can I convince a 12-person panel of individuals, peers of these defendant or defendants, can I convince them that this is actually an egregious crime that they're going to send a man to prison or worse for? That's the final question that they ask when they sit around the table.
Well, and for us, it's a little odd, but in Manhattan, they prosecute corporate crime all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It is not unusual for them to be prosecuting corporate and white collar crime.
Uh-huh.
They do it a lot up and around Manhattan. And I would also say that the people of New York, Trump has made a lot of enemies along his way.
Yes.
And,
And
he don't
continues
have
in
very
New
many
York.
friends left in New York. So I can
Right.
understand that if they've got something they can go after him for, he's done a lot of people wrong up there that he's gotten away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be part of the motivation of why Alvin Bragg sees the opportunity to hold him accountable. He's going to do it.
That's the wrong reasons for doing it.
Yeah, or it could be politically motivated. It could be a lot of different motivations. But like I say, at the end of
Either
the day,
one.
do they have the evidence to back it up?
Either one is the wrong reasons for doing it.
Well, that's the debatable point. You
Yep.
know, if somebody commits a crime, like if there's somebody that you don't like who commits a crime, and you're a law enforcement officer, and then you go after them, because you don't like them, maybe a little more aggressively than you would somebody that you did like,
Then you better turn in your badge.
it doesn't change the fact that they committed the crime.
You better turn in your badge if that's the reason you're going after them.
Well, I would agree with you on that, but Record, you got to admit that there is, good old boy
Mm-hmm.
thing happens for
All right, Steve,
our whole lives.
we got weather. We're already 3 minutes late, so we appreciate
your
it.
time.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Y'all have
right.
a blessed day.
You too. I know, Bill, you're waiting, and we've got our caller that's going to be coming in here in just a few minutes. So, Bill, I'll ask you if you can give us a call back about 7:45 this morning. John Starrs Electric sponsors this severe weather tip each morning at this time. This might be a good time to take advantage of a few days we have with the slim chance of having hazardous weather around these parts and start putting together a plan for the future. First, take a serious look at the supplies you might need for the most common severe weather facing us each year. And with the Colorado State University forecast predicting 2024 is the most active hurricane season since the 1990s, some things we'll be discussing before the season officially starts are ways to harden your property. Trimming dead tree limbs and removing trees that are dying. You don't want loose objects becoming projectiles. Check with recommended tree services to do the evaluations. It would be a good idea to have a roofing inspector check your shingles. Hello, they can get loose over the years and become susceptible to wind damage that could result in roof damage. Check for hidden damage in the way of soft spots. Just walk along around the sunroofs and chimneys on your house and see if you kind of spongy there. If you find a professional, have them come in and take a look-see. Another thing you may want to consider now is a standby Generac generator. They're made to basic needs should a power outage impact the area. Larger total automatic units that will handle virtually all of your power needs for any number of days after the storm. Given the history that many of us experienced with the last major hurricane here, the extended coverage has become important. Hot water, air conditioning, refrigeration, that includes your freezers, lights, and any special medical needs that require electricity become extremely important. Your Jacksonville Generac dealer is John Starrs Electric. With trained and certified technicians, you can feel comfortable knowing that the best professionals are on your side. Not only does the team work with you from the first call to make sure they know exactly what you need, they're on call 24 hours a day to make sure your Generac is always ready in case of a loss of power. Power up your life with a Generac generator from John Starrs Electric. Call 910-989-1908. Do it today. This is the perfect time of year to take advantage of the professionals. It's all turnkey and worry-free, and they service what they sell. Again, the number to get you started, 910-989-1908. You're live and local. We'll be right back with weather.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
The plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local Carrier indoor weather team. Serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967, now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the Carrier experts. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hempstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting Maintenance at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME.
Weather forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services right here in Jacksonville. We've talked about depression on the show. Kelly's fully aware of that. She deals with it on a daily basis and sometimes pre-dawn, right? Yeah, maybe you're not aware, but depression and anxiety cases have increased significantly since 2017. Since then, with the pandemic and other issues, adult and youth numbers continue climbing at a steady rate. Do you or someone you know have issues with either depression or anxiety, or maybe both? If so, reach out. Don't wait. Don't harbor it in. Don't hold it in. There's no reason to suffer. The staff at Community Prevention Services can help, and they're eager to do so. They provide quality confidential counseling for individuals ages 7 to 100. Call them today, 910-353-0972. Community Prevention Services located at 918 Henderson Drive. The number again, 910-353-0972. There's a small craft advisory offshore today. And in fact, right now through this evening, southwesterly winds around 20 knots, gusts to 25, seas 4 to 6 feet. Dominant period 7 seconds, sounds and rivers choppy, and the inlets are going to be really rough. Thursday, tomorrow, northerly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming northeasterly 15 to 20 with gusts to 25 in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. They could pick up in the afternoon. Dominant period 7 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. And while I'm at it, when the seas are in the morning 2 to 4 feet and the winds are predicted to pick up in the afternoon, think about that. Go out early, get back early before the winds get nasty and you have to try to come through the inlet. Friday, northeasterly winds around 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
Today, sunny, high of 77 with gusts about right around 17 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 55. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 74. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 50. On Friday, sunny, high of 72, and a little bit gusty on Friday.
And we've got right now Dr. Rosemary Stein joining us again, a pediatrician extraordinaire from the Bowling area. And Doc, we got a lot of children around here this morning. Can you help us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just ask Dr. Rose.
Have you ever told one of your patients who called you up, hey, well, take 2 aspirin, call me in the morning?
Not that I can recall.
Oh, shoot. That was
I've said a lot of things, but probably not that.
okay. All right. What's hot right now? I mean, we should be over the flu for the most part. And I just saw where the man who had COVID the longest time on record, over 600 days, passed away yesterday. I'm like, really? Wow.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. How do you have it for 2 years?
For the side effects of COVID, I don't know.
Yeah, I read that story last night, and I'm like, that's scary. So anyway,
Yeah, there's a lot of things scary about that.
Anyway, what's ailing youngins these days?
Oh, it's a lot of sinusy, bronchitic things. You're hearing a lot of people have gravelly voices and sore throats, and they might not test positive for strep, although there's a lot of strep. But they are definitely having big swollen tonsils. And
really?
You can hear the drainage. A lot of it has to do with allergies. A lot of it has to do with just, what's going on out there with that's respiratory. And the combination of those two is causing a lot of symptoms and keeping some kids out of school and keeping some parents worried. So just remember to treat those allergies, lots of fluids. That's always something that surprises me. And in the middle of all that, the kids are fairly dehydrated. And if you just add water to children, they generally feel better and they do better. So remember when they start getting sick to make sure they're drinking 4 or 5 glasses of water so that drainage can drain better, and so the kids can feel better.
I'm not sure what it is about water, but dehydration, I guess, is one of the bigger factors because, even the times I've been in the hospital, the first thing they do is check to see if I'm dehydrated. They start pinching skin and looking there, here, looking there, doing this stuff. You need some more water or whatever. Is everybody that comes to a doctor, are they dehydrated to a certain extent?
I would say that a good part, probably 60 to 70% of kids that I see, and that they're already sick and they're moderately dehydrated, and that's making them sicker.
Wow. Okay. So drinking out of a water hose while they're outside playing is okay, right?
If that's how you want to do it, that's all right too. I would suggest maybe a water bottle.
Yeah.
And fill it up. But if you want to do it out of the water hose and you have a nice clean water hose, good for you.
Well, it was good for me all those years, and I've gotten old as a result, I guess. The dehydration, though, it really can impact people. They don't understand how. It can make you dizzy. It can make you feel just kind of no energy. I mean, I know that I've had dehydration before. I just didn't drink enough water. Don't have that problem anymore because I drink all day long. I've got this big old 20-ounce glass here that keeps getting filled up. I'm on my second helping since I got in here this morning.
That's right. And like I said, if you're already sick, dehydration will make things worse. When you have a fever, the water evaporates. When you cough, there's little spittles of fluids that are coming out. So you're always losing fluid. So if you're not replacing that and you're not feeling well, you're definitely going to take longer to get better, and you're going to feel worse. Most of the time, you just add some water and you say, well, I didn't feel that bad at all. I actually feel pretty good just by drinking your water and getting your fluids back to where they should be.
Okay. How much water? I mean, they used to say like 3 glasses a day or something like that. I don't know how big a glass is. So how much water should a kid be using every day? And I know it will probably depend upon how active he or she is, but how much should they in general take in, consume?
Minimum should be about 24 to 32 ounces of water, which is 4 glasses.
Okay.
And so really, if either you're trying to lose weight or you're sick, you should go up from there, probably towards 5 or 6 at least.
Well, wait a minute now. Water is heavy. I mean, it's not like it's it'll cause you to weigh less when you drink a gallon or two of water. But what does water do for you if you're overweight?
Oh, it makes everything move.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to pee it off. Your digestive tract is going to have more fluid in there, so that you go to the bathroom more. Everything is improved, not by overdoing the water, but if you generally drink somewhere between 4 and 5 glasses of water a day, you're going to be healthier than the person who doesn't.
Okay. All right. I suppose for kids who are playing outside during the summertime, particularly when we get into our 90-degree days, that's even more important.
Absolutely. You should be looking at maybe upwards of 6 up to 8 glasses of water. If you're outside on a hot day, and maybe even that might not be enough.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, little kids, the smaller ones, they have bigger heads, and so fluid evaporates faster from smaller kids are running around outside on a hot day. They're going to tend to get evaporated faster.
Did you say smaller kids with bigger heads?
Smaller kids have bigger heads proportionate to the rest of their body.
Okay. And that causes
so if you're 4 or less, your head is going to be bigger than the rest of your body.
Okay. And why do you?
Then while that noggin is out.
Okay. So you need more water, I guess, because you sweat from your head a lot too, don't you?
Yes, exactly. Nobody really notices that because it's right into your hair.
Uh-huh.
You get a little sweaty, but nobody notices it as much. Getting your clothes wet, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's interesting information.
Very.
Yeah. I thought about dehydration because from time to time, I just fail to drink when I'm outside and doing lots of stuff in the sun, and suddenly I'll just get kind of lightheaded. So I said, I need some water and I need to sit down. Other than water, other liquids, soft drinks. I know people don't want to promote drinking a bunch of stuff with sugar in it or whatever. Soft drinks have water, right?
They do. Obviously, I wouldn't be a big fan of the kids drinking soft drinks. I think that if they're outside and they're going to be sweating a lot, you should consider maybe some electrolyte fluids. And there are whole out there. Everybody knows Gatorade. Everybody knows Pedialyte. But you need a little bit of salt. Now that it's getting warmer, so if the kids are outside, you lose salt through your sweat. And so you have to replace that because otherwise you're going to have what we call hyponatremia, which is that low salt in your blood, and you're going to really not feel well with that. You can get very sick.
So there is
don't take care of that.
There is something to that thing that when I was a kid and working in construction, even before I was old enough to do that, the construction crews always carried salt tablets with them.
That's what we mailmen did.
And so I guess that is a thing, huh?
No, that is very much a thing. I mean, that was the inexpensive version of all these electrolyte fluids that are out there.
Huh.
So that was very smart. And without all those colorants, you just knew that you put a little bit of salt into the fluids that you were going to drink, and you were replacing what you were losing. But if you were to taste, your sweat, you'll see that
it's pretty salty.
So you have to put, you have to put the salt back in.
Especially when it drips down in your eyes, it burns.
That's right.
So, okay. Dr. Rose, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. You guys have a
All right.
great week.
You
Thank you for
too.
all the interesting questions.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you. See, Kelly blasted before yesterday was good for me.
I don't want to start with that.
Okay, folks, do you put salt on your boiled eggs when you finally get that peeling off? And Father, I need somebody, an expert, to show me how to get the eggshell off of a boiled egg easily.
I told you, I just did 2 yesterday and they peeled right off. But you have to do them while they're warm.
I mean, they're in the refrigerator. How can I do them while they're warm?
Well, peel them before you put them in the refrigerator.
My wife puts them in the refrigerator.
Well, then you need to talk to her.
Oh, Lord, now you've just done it. Okay, let's take, anybody else eat salt on their boiled eggs? Can you eat a boiled egg without salt? Does a boiled egg have any taste whatsoever?
You can, but it's not the same.
Does it have any taste whatsoever?
I've gone to using that pink Himalayan salt.
That's what I
I'll
use.
tell you what.
Well, it's salt.
It tastes like what, Kelly? 2 or 3 grams of
It's like gold.
It
Yeah.
is
It's
just like,
salt. It's
Yeah,
still
but
salt.
it's
Right.
better than the cheap salt.
it's better than the regular salt.
Yeah.
It is. It's healthier for you.
You mean it's
If-
got to be healthier? It's
It
salt.
is. That's what my osteopath doctor said too.
Why?
I don't know. It's magical. I don't know.
What else? Oh, great. Here
Yeah,
we go.
I don't know. It just
I
works.
put mine
better.
in a grinder, just like
Yeah, I have a
and-
little grinder that grinds
Yes.
as you twist it. It grinds. Yeah,
and the flavor
yeah.
is
It's
very
definitely a difference.
distinct.
You can
Robbie's
tell a
got one of
difference.
those with. Uh-oh.
It's I like
It's
it.
very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does anybody out there eat salt on their watermelon or cantaloupe? How
I put
about
it on
Timmy?
I put it on my
I
watermelon.
put it on both.
Timmy.
Yeah, I do.
Watermelon salt on watermelon's great.
Yeah, it is. You got
Oh,
the
it's
sweet and
good.
the
Yeah,
tart
it's
of the
yeah.
Good. Salt's kind of good anyway to people with high blood pressure. But I was just listening to Dr. Rose, and she was talking about the salt test. We did it when we played ball, but I got to thinking, I was doing real good when I used to crop the biker and we'd take us a break, and I put peanuts in my Pepsi.
Oh, here you go.
So
Salty
I was
peanuts.
actually doing all right. I was getting carbs, I was getting sodium, I was getting the drink. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Well, in the mornings
talk about
before Kelly gets here, I'll have to clean the studio, get rid of any solid peanut butter crackers, boiled peanuts,
Yep.
parched peanuts is what we used to call them, roasted peanuts, and and a salt bottle over here for my boy Alex. I
You
got to get rid
forgot
of it. It takes
yesterday.
me 15 minutes to clean the room.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could play some kind of magic wand to cure all that mess. It's just makes me all it. Really does. I mean, for you to be healthy and then you get allergies and
Within
this allergy
24
problem
hours.
and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's pitiful.
It's
I think the best thing you could
how it
do would be
Yeah.
to binge eat some peanut butter, jar of peanut butter, and just
No.
get over this thing.
I will be in the ground. No, we're not doing that. Thank you. We're not doing that.
I just don't get it.
24 hours that took that allergy to hit. One day I was fine.
Yeah, the older I get, the worse I get. I mean, used to allergies didn't bother me. I mean, I didn't have that.
Well, I didn't have this. I was
Ragweed.
35 when this happened.
Yeah, and I'm 63 now, and
Yeah.
I can tell you when the ragweed starts kicking
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and I can tell you when the dolphin will start blooming in the fall, and I can. It's just amazing of me, you know, get up, my head shot up, all that. Why in the world?
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're getting older and you're getting allergies.
I can just tell you when it's getting ready to rain. I heard everywhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey Timmy, we
well,
got to do a little bit of weather here. I would do a little bit of weather. Got to
You
pay a
go
few
ahead.
commercial
I'll
bills
just
here.
holler at you.
Bye,
All right,
Tim.
thank you, Tim.
You're
And we have another caller, so hang in there. We'll be right back after this commercial break. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
Chino Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Chino Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Chino Italiano on West Corbin Avenue in Swansboro.
Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway, is Jacksonville's oldest tire company. And now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others, and all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, minor auto and truck repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone 910-330-473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville.
If you're looking for a home, or perhaps you want to sell your house, why would you not have a realtor that knows Eastern North Carolina? Candy Brown Thompson has lived her entire life in this area and knows the territory like the back of her hand. She's a realtor with Century 21 Champion in Jacksonville and is known as a professional that will do everything possible to find the right home to meet your needs. It matters not whether you're looking for a small starter home or you're ready for a larger home. Candy will stick her neck out and check out homes throughout the eastern part of the state. She's known to look high and low and show you as many houses as you want until you have found the perfect house you can turn into a home. Throughout the process, she'll treat you with grace, kindness, and integrity. You'll love her sense of humor. For a realtor dedicated to her clients, give Candy Brown Thompson of Century 21 Champion a call at 910-787-5600. That's 910-787-5600.
This just in, I think there's been a prison break, and reports are saying it's the Scorcher. Yes, the Scorcher has escaped and is running rampant across Comfortville. Apparently, he's targeting innocent air conditioning units. Yes, and wait a second. It seems that reports are flooding in of unfortunate citizens feeling uncomfortable, hot, and in extreme cases, I hesitate to say this on the air, people are even sweating. Wait a minute, we're now getting word there seems to be some sort of disturbance. A Bryant man is on the scene, and he has apprehended the Scorcher. All right. Tune in again for another tale of Bryant Man, always doing whatever it takes.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this summer. Down East Heating and Air, serving our community for over 25 years. Down East can also help you with your home. 4311.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back. And as we said, we're a little bit late this morning, but we do have Bill right now. Bill.
Good morning. Good morning. I was listening to Kelly when she was saying extortion, and that thing with Donald Trump. That was the first thing that hit me was this is like the Mayflower Madam writing books and stuff about her clientele, and then that Heidi Fleiss right after her back in New York, and then that hit me right away. This is sort of a repeat of that.
It just makes me wonder how many people that paid her off not to write about them or paid any of those folks off.
Yeah, and Donald Trump, of course, is a celebrity, and he's been the president, and then. Her thing right away to say they had a relationship that didn't involve money. That's, you're dating, you're, et cetera. And now you're trying to get something out of it and you're turning it into prostitution. And, right away they would say, well, her lawyer would just say, oh, it isn't prostitution. They had a brief and whatever common law marriage. And this is just separating the marriage and go their own ways. And they say, well, you don't write about your marriage and then hold that and dangle it in front of somebody to say, pay me or else, that kind of thing. It just, it's just hit me as another. I would have just said, yeah, go ahead and print it, see if you can sell it.
Yeah, make a buck. Make a buck.
But
it's not going to hurt him. It would not have hurt him.
Yeah.
So, big deal.
Yeah.
Bill, we got another caller.
She had, and as a professional date, as an escort, for how many people have that? She's writing about 50 people there, not me.
Yeah. Okay, Bill.
Anyway,
Bill,
take care.
we got another caller here, and then we
Go,
going to have
Bill.
to take a break. Is this okay? I'm going to take a guess. Joy. Donald. Hello.
It's no one.
No one. Do we have a caller? Right there.
Hello.
Hey, there you are.
I was wanting to talk about some local news.
Okay, go ahead.
Been up New River, Upper New River, and I don't know who the river keeper is, but the river's getting clogged up with alligator weed, logs, and trees that are falling down. It's hindering me from going out there fishing.
There is a unit with the county that's supposed to go out and clean up stuff like that when it's up in the river, clogging the rivers up. debris that falls in, because, you know, we all know what happens when things start flooding and all that stuff comes floating downriver. It can be a major hazard to boating and everything else. It also becomes very stagnant when the water gets very still, and mosquitoes form on stagnant water. That's one of the big problems. So we do have a mosquito control unit that's supposed to be doing that. You might want to give the county a call, and I will do the same thing.
Well, as good as I love to do business with Todd Line Marine, I hate to go up there and buy props quite frequently. But that's not really the biggest problem. Is trying to get in between all the fallen trees, and when a tree falls down into the water, then the alligator weed collects around it and just grows in a big mat.
Yep.
And so the alligator weed is an invasive weed. I don't know what can be done about it.
Well, as often as possible, a lot of people will throw a grappling hook out there or whatever they can and pull it up on shore and let it die. That's one of the best things you can do with it.
Well, Rayford, I'm an old man. I'm not physically able to do that.
Neither can I. But I'm encouraging the young generation to start to take up that as one of your chores of the day.
Well, if I was younger, I'd take a what I call a pole saw and cut the overhanging limb and do some of it myself. And enough to cut a path through. I would think that some of the people that like to kayak would say, "Hey, I'm gonna go up here and do a little work in the river, volunteer or whatever." But it is getting bad, and as the summer goes on, it gets worse because that's really when alligator weed starts growing.
You got it. Downriver, you can sometimes find floating islands of that alligator weed, and if you run your boat through that, you're going to be an unhappy camper trying to clean it up.
Yeah, I understand, but anyhow, there's one good thing about it. I was the only one up there, so a lot of people don't try to shred in there. But I like to catch freshwater fish, and there's some good fishing up there. I'm talking about from Blue Creek on up behind Somerset School.
Yes,
and
I've heard that.
Water is really deep in there. Some places are like 20 feet deep.
Yeah, I've seen some 25-foot holes in there for sure.
But anyhow, see if you can't advocate and do a little politicking and get the river cleaned up.
Okay, I'll bring it to their attention and say, we got to complain and see what happens. I'm sure we got at least 3 county commissioners listening right now.
Sure.
Well, I hope that
Clean it
get
up.
cleaned up. It's a beautiful river.
It is.
It winds like a black snake. It takes you forever to get anywhere up there. But it is beautiful and quiet, peaceful, and great asset that we have here in Oslo County.
It is. Thank you.
And I'll leave you with this. Again, you've heard me say, do yourself a favor and take a kid fishing.
Absolutely. Do it all the time, and you will generate something positive for the future. Thank you, Don.
Yes, sir.
All right,
God bless y'all.
You too. You're live in Local Real Talk. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of these specials and many more at your locally owned and operated Richlands Piggly Wiggly, where good things called Sliss, down the street, Highway 24, Richlands. 10 pounds or more fresh ground beef is only $2.99 a pound. Whole center cut shoulder cod, $4.39 a pound. Whole top sirloin is only $5.99 a pound. How about whole fresh pig nicks, just another $19 a pound. Fresh yellow, white, or bicolored corn is only 49 cents an ear. Sweet blueberries are only $2.99 a pint, and you get a 1 pound package of North Carolina grown fresh strawberries for just $2.99. Enjoy down home week right there in the store. You can dine in or take out fresh chicken that will make you smile. Country breakfast starts at 5:30 a.m. daily at your Richlands Piggly Wiggly Deli, and it's home to the famous Merle Bowl. You can also take advantage of the Fast Friendly Pharmacy, also located inside the Richlands Piggly Wiggly. Richlands Piggly Wiggly, down the street, where good things call Sliss, Highway 24 Richlands. And remember, stay big with the pig.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
The Cub Cadet Ultimate Sales Event is here. Now through May 18th, save on select Cub Cadet lawnmowers, including both gas and battery-powered zero-turns and lawn tractors. The Cub Cadet Ultimate Series, which includes both lap bar and steering wheel models with heavy-duty mowing decks available in a variety of sizes designed to deliver a premium cut. And Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Don't wait. The Ultimate Sales Event ends May 18th. Head to Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service. Offer valid 4/14/24 through 5/18/24. Participating Cub Cadet dealers and online at cubcadet.com. Prices may vary by retailer, may not be combined with any other discount or offer, does not apply to prior purchases. Other restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Okay, dokie, we're back. And, we're real close to our news time, so we're just got a couple of seconds here. Coming up at the top of the hour, right after 8 o'clock this morning, we're going to be joined by a politician, a guy who's running for lieutenant governor. He's a Republican.
That's right.
I think. Last time I checked, anyway.
Yes.
You never know these days.
There's a runoff May 14th.
Yeah.
You still have to get out and vote again.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, coming up here in about 2.5 weeks or so, we've got another race, the same race again, all over again. Here we go. So, all right, let's take a real quick break here and do a little bit of Fox News. I'll be back in about 60 seconds with Mr. Weatherman. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The Senate approving a $95 billion foreign aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan.
Tonight, we tell our allies, we stand with you. We tell our adversaries, don't mess with us.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the bill also includes a provision that could result in a nationwide ban of TikTok. The president expected to sign it. While the Majority Leader was getting that bill passed, anti-Israel protesters swarmed the street in front of Senator Schumer's home in Brooklyn, New York. Protests continued at college campuses on both coasts. Hundreds camped out at Columbia University and ignored a midnight deadline to disperse, while dozens barricaded themselves inside Cal Poly Humboldt in California. House Speaker Mike Johnson set to meet with Jewish students at Columbia today. America is listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local.
And we're back at 8 o'clock, and we're joined a gentleman who's he's got a runoff election coming up, which is
Certainly does.
kind of unusual. I don't recall a runoff election in some period of time at a state level. Have we had one recently?
Just when we were replacing Walter Jones's seat.
Yeah, well, I remember that one. That was a crazy period of time. Hal Weatherman, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm doing well.
Good.
By the way, the last statewide runoff I heard you talking there.
Yes.
The last statewide runoff was 2012. Danforth for lieutenant governor, the
Okay.
first race that I ran.
Okay.
The last two runoffs now that we've been a part of here in this state, I personally have been part of. So there's my claim to fame.
So in other words, what you're saying, it's your fault.
It's my fault. That's exactly right.
Well, yeah, they had so many people that filed for those positions.
Mhm.
We wouldn't have, if there was like 2 or 3, but when you have 15, 16 people, you know, that's what causes a runoff.
Oh, yeah.
Not getting that 30%.
Anyway,
exactly.
How question for you? I just want to make sure, because people are always changing these days. You're still a Republican?
Of course he is.
Having to ask, you know, I haven't checked lately.
I wouldn't have, well, I can't say that.
So, how are things looking? You've only got about, what, 3 weeks to go?
So I think we're down to 22 days. I think things look great. You know, most people don't know about runoffs, but they are, as we were talking about, there is, you know, not a lot of precedent for it, but the runoff is May 14th. Early voting for the runoff actually starts tomorrow, Thursday, April 25th.
Okay.
So, and runs through May 11th.
Now-
And people will need to check, you know, with their local county board of elections to find out where they go to vote, because the early voting locations in most counties have been consolidated down to where there's usually maybe
Right.
2 voting locations. And then election day proper is the same way. It most likely will be at their traditional voting site where they usually go on election day, but that is not entirely true. And we created a tool on my website, halweatherman.com. If people were to go to halweatherman.com and go to the vote tab, then it makes it real easy for them to find where they vote, whether it's during early voting or on election day proper. We provide links to where you put in your address and it will tell you where you vote.
Okay.
There were 11 of us run this time around, and we were the vote getter. I know it's crazy, isn't it? But we got 181,000 votes in 162 of the 100 counties against the 11-person field. In North Carolina, the runoffs are not automatic like other states. So the number 2 person, as y'all said, if no one clocks 30% of the vote, the number 2 person reserves the right to challenge.
So
and that is what the number 2 finisher in this race did. He challenged me to a runoff.
Okay, so between between you and the number 2, you had what percentage as compared to his percentage? Under 30%, obviously, for both.
I was right at 20%. And I believe he was right at 17.
Okay.
So you know, it's and so I was very happy with our results on election day. I mean, again, an 11-man field, it's near impossible to clock the 30%. If you isolate all the candidates that were eliminated that day and take the guy who challenged me to a runoff, compare his with my numbers, we defeated him by 34,000 votes,
Mm-hmm.
and we defeated him in 80 of the 100 counties.
Now,
so we're very well positioned going into the runoff, and we have not taken our foot off the gas. We're not taking anything for granted.
Okay, good. Because in a runoff, generally the turnout is dismal. Would you agree?
Abysmal. Yeah, and it's very hard to prognosticate what that turnout will actually be. I think that, you know, in the primary election, roughly 925,000 people voted statewide. I think in this race, we'll be lucky to turn out 125,000, and it could be less than that.
Wow.
And so, I mean, you're looking at turnout that could go on maybe on the low end 4%, and on the high end 12% statewide. So it's a very small number. It's usually the diehards of the diehards, the most motivated, the most informed, the most people who feel maybe they have a moral or civic obligation to vote consistently, regardless of what the race is, which I respect. I am one of those people, and I think that we will campaign, because we have spent the last, no exaggeration, the last 15 months on the road, 5 and 6 days a week for 15 sustained months, going out and trying to meet these people the very people that we're talking about. And so I was the only candidate in the 11-man field that went to all 100 counties.
Wow.
We went to 35 counties 5 times or more. We went to 10 counties 10 times or more. And, so my hope, my prayer, right, is that the faithful base of our party will see the body of work that we've done. We'll see how hard I'm working, and we'll reward that. And I certainly, for your listeners, I certainly ask for their vote. And I tell people all the time, I'm interviewing for the job. I'm very aware that if I have the honor and the privilege to be your lieutenant governor, you don't work for me. I work for you. And I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to interview for the job one county at a time and show the Republican Party, if you award me with your nomination, this is how hard I'll work for you this fall against the other side.
During
go ahead.
During this last 4 years, going on 4 years, we've had a split situation, and the governor is a Democrat, the lieutenant governor is a Republican. I guess some people could call it a love. I think there's a whole lot of love there anywhere. So that to kind of like, I put up with you, you got to put up with me type thing, right?
Yeah, and I have firsthand experience in that because that split has actually been going on for now for 8 years.
Yep.
Dan Forrest, I was Dan Forrest's chief of staff when he was lieutenant governor. First term, we served under, we're Republican, we served under Pat McCrory, Republican. Second term, because Pat was defeated, we had to serve under Roy Cooper, just like Mark Robinson had to serve under Cooper. So it is different, obviously. Unfortunately, partisanship does kick in. It does raise its ugly head and gets in the way of being what I believe the lieutenant governor should be, which is a force multiplier for the governor if they're of the same party. I personally would love to see the governor and lieutenant governor candidates joined at the hip. That change is not going to happen during this election cycle because we all knew the terms of the position, when we filed for it. But long term, I think they should join the governor and lieutenant governor at the hip so that they are always of the same party. Very similar to how we pick a president and vice president.
So you think?
I think it would serve the state well.
So you
I actually think it would breathe life and a significant amount of authority into the office of lieutenant governor that's been missing since the 80s because, in the 1980s, a Democrat-controlled General Assembly stripped then Jim Gardner, the first Republican lieutenant governor since, I think, 1896. They stripped him of all, not all, but the vast majority of the powers of the office of lieutenant governor. And those powers have never come back. And so I think if you join the governor and the lieutenant governor as a ticket in the future, what that would do is it would make the lieutenant governor to a certain degree subservient to the governor, but it would also be a true force multiplier for the governor. They would know whose agenda he's carrying. He's carrying the governor's agenda. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And again, same way as the vice president, it would be the same relationship that the vice president in the United States has with the president.
Would you see this as a possibility or likelihood that whoever the gubernatorial nominee is for each party or all parties now, I'm not sure how many there will be by that time, the gubernatorial nominee would actually pick his running mate, basically?
I mean, that's what I would like to see happen in the future.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that's not happening this election.
No, of course not.
But in the future, I think it makes entirely too much sense to do that. And I get it, to a certain degree, you're vesting that power in the nominee. I think most people in our state assume the lieutenant governor is working with the governor. They assume it because in some other states, that is how it is. And it just seems to make sense to me. Again, I think it's a big job to lead a state. Obviously. And I think a governor could use a lieutenant governor to have his back, and to stand with him and or her. and just makes too much sense to me.
Yeah.
But I have no clue if that will actually come to fruition or not. Every once in a while, it gets batted around in the General Assembly, and at some point, I think it'll gain steam and make sense to people.
Since your opponent, of course, of this runoff is another Republican, you'll have an impossible time to get a public endorsement, I think, maybe I'm wrong, from the gubernatorial candidate, right?
So Mark certainly stayed out of the 11-man endorsement game, but time will tell. Time will tell if he will endorse here in the runoff.
Okay.
And I certainly am very supportive of Mark. Mark has been very supportive of me in terms of, especially since primary election night. Has invited me to numerous events of his since then. It allowed me to speak following him at those events.
All right.
And in fact, I think I'll be at one of his events next Tuesday night. So, but he had a very contested primary himself. And we certainly had a contested primary with multiple candidates. It does not serve him well to get into a primary situation with 11 candidates, that, because he could make one happy and 10 mad.
That's right.
and that would reflect on his numbers. But I never asked him for his endorsement during the primary for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
That reason alone. I
Okay,
mean, because
well,
I don't,
You
but
know
I
better.
support Mark, and he's been. I consider him a friend, and I'm blessed for some of the things he's done for me. But don't really want to disclose. But I mean, time will tell, right? And the race is upon us.
Sure.
The race is upon us now, right? Early voting starts tomorrow. Time will
Yeah.
tell if he will endorse him.
We're going to have to harp with that.
And I'm very optimistic.
And Lee, I'm sure we'll have our voting places, which I think
I've
is
got
probably
all the
going to just be the Board
information.
of Elections. Is
Board
it?
of Elections.
It's the only place that's going to vote. And is it going to be every day of the week for the next couple of weeks?
Every day except Sunday, of course, 8
Okay.
a.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Board of Elections, 246
How about-
Georgetown Road. On Election Day, all polls open,
Yeah. And on Saturday, though, during
8 to 3.
8 to 3. Okay. Just want to make that clear. So they are open, but it is only open at the board. Need to make
Early
that clear.
voting, that's
For early
correct.
voting. And then it'd be on election day.
On your poll.
Yep. So
Yes.
if you don't know where it is,
24 polls will be open.
we'll tell you how to find it. Al, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Y'all have always been so good to let me come on, and I appreciate it. And I
Anytime.
hope to come on again in the future as your lieutenant governor.
Thank you. We'd like to have
I was
you. And
just
I
gonna
really want to talk with you before the primary, actually the day of the primary, somewhere
Yes.
about halfway between now and then. If we
Yeah.
can reserve a few minutes of your time.
I'll send a message
Absolutely.
to Ian.
We'll do
Okay.
We'll
Sounds
do
good.
that.
Thank you, Hal.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Take care.
All right, you too. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only cover protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. That's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997, with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters. And they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the fall specials many more locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store in downtown Maysville on Main Street. Remember, the Piggly Wiggly's where good things cost less. How about 10 pounds or more of fresh ground beef, just $2.99 a pound. Whole center cut shoulder cod, $4.39 a pound. Whole top sirloin is only $5.99 a pound. Whole fresh picnic, just $1.19 a pound. Fresh yellow, white, or bicolor corn is only 49 cents an ear. And you get a pint of sweet blueberries for just $2.99. And a 1 pound package of North Carolina grown fresh strawberries is only $2.99 a pound. And remember, they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's farm chicken. And the pork and beef is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, Main Street in Maysville. Also, you get a 5 pound bag of russet potatoes for just $2.99 a bag, and a 2 pound bag of Western apples is only $2.99. And you get 2 8-packs of Cocoa Sprite for $9. That's locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store down the street where good things cost less. Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSM.
Weather forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services here in Jacksonville. A lot on the show. A lot of folks suffer from cases have increased significantly since 2017. Kelly, why?
A whole lot of reasons.
I know we had the pandemic.
Pandemic highlighted kids not being able to be in school. I think this shed a light on a problem that was there. I don't think people realize how widespread it was. A lot of uncertainty can cause depression, anxiety, turmoil within an individual's life. There's just a lot of reasons.
I would imagine that around these parts, 2017, it started increasing, but 2018, we had a devastating hurricane around here.
And that caused a
whole lot of issues, right? Not only with kids.
With a lot of people, especially those who are directly impacted.
Yeah, and some of them are still paying the price of that. So anyway, do you or someone you know, if you have issues or someone you know in your family or friends or whatever in your field of social work, either depression or anxiety, reach out. Don't wait. There's no reason to suffer. The staff at Community Prevention Services can help, and they are eager to do so. That's one of the things. It's not just a number you're going to be calling. It's people that you're going to be reaching. They provide quality, confidential counseling for kids and seniors from 7 to 100 years of age. Call them today, 910-353-0972. Community Prevention Services located at 918 Henderson Drive, conveniently located. That number again, 910-353-0972. Offshore today, there's a small craft advisory in effect through this evening. Southwesterly winds around 20 knots, gust up to 25, seas 4 to 6 feet, dominant period 7 seconds, sounds and rivers choppy, and according to one of our callers, full of speed up the creeks tomorrow. Northerly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming northeasterly 15 to 20, gust to 25 in the afternoon, sea 2 to 4 feet, dominant period 7 seconds, sounds and rivers a moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. Friday, northeasterly winds around 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, sounds and rivers a moderate chop, and some of the temperatures are getting up there above 65 degrees now near the surf. Some of them offshore are already well over 65 degrees, and the Spanish mackerel are biting.
Sunny, high of 77 today. 8 to 10 mile an hour winds with gusts as high as 17 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 55. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 74. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low of 50 with gusts tomorrow night around 20 miles an hour. And on Friday, sunny, high of 72.
Not a bad looking forecast here. And we don't have any rain that I saw earlier.
Nothing, no.
That means I got to water the garden.
Might be a little chance of one coming through Thursday. Might be. Very slim chance. That's what the National Weather said. This
was calling about fishing, but I want to talk about political sexual affairs and hard-boiled eggs.
What?
I hope not. I hope there's no connection there because that gets really kinky.
And I'm depressed. Kelly.
Come on.
Hey, we got a futon right over here. That'll serve as a couch.
This is well, you did mention that earlier about, I'm going to tell you something about how to cool the boiled eggs, but I want to go back to the sexual affairs. Why is it that it always comes out like 15, 16, 17 years later after these transactions supposedly took place? When it's this is just my personal opinion. I feel like a lot of it is political things that people bring up to try to cause issues for the person running for the president.
Well, let me answer that. Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, 15 years ago, Donald Trump was a big guy, big man on campus with lots of money, and who cared, right?
Yeah.
And then when he got into politics, if she could have written a book about Donald Trump, the business guy with a lot of money who paid her to do whatever,
Exactly.
maybe he paid her to boil some eggs. I don't know. But anyway,
Well, he supposedly had the affair after Milana had just given birth to Barron also.
well, was that a big story back then? Who would have cared? I would not even, other than the
So
dude
my
showed up on
thinking-
television
go ahead,
firing people. That was the only concept that I had with this guy,
Yeah.
Donald Trump. He fired people on TV.
Yeah.
A stupid show.
It was stupid show.
Yeah.
It was.
You're fired. Yeah. But I think that who's just throw a little clincher in there? Who's to say that Cohen wasn't the one that had the affair and he used Trump to say that he's the one that did payoff money? It was really Cohen. He's the one that went to jail. He would say he had the sexual affair and blamed it on Trump.
I don't know. If that was the case, I'm sure Donald Trump would have blasted him out of the water very quickly, but he's not saying anything because Cohen knows too much.
No. Okay. So, anyways, I think a lot of because all the presidents have had sexual affairs. We know through the years. I mean, that's just
I don't know about all of
one
them,
of the
but
things. Well, not all, but maybe the ones that we know of in our years growing up. Hard-boiled eggs. Okay, you boil the eggs close to about 10 minutes, right?
I don't know.
Okay, just let it sit there for a little bit in that hot water.
Uh-huh.
Then when you take it out of that hot water, take it over to the sink, and you crack your eggs. You crack it on the pot or on the side of the sink, or how do you do it?
sometimes I do it on the keyboard here in the mornings. I kid you not. I take them out of the refrigerator. Take them out of the refrigerator, put them on a paper towel, bring them in here, and I crack them at my leisure. I like that word,
All right,
leisure.
well, the deal at cracking the eggs is that, well, a lot of times fresh eggs are very hard to peel. So I wouldn't really buy the fresh because eggs can last forever and ever in the refrigerator. You can Google that or find that out, and it will tell you can leave them in your refrigerator for quite a long time, even unboiled eggs that are contained in a container or whatever. Out over there, you take your egg, and you start your cold water, and you stick your egg over on the counter, and you hit it on the counter all the way around where it gets all crinkly, crackly, and then you put it back under that cold water, and you start peeling it, and they peel perfect.
Oh. How about if it's already boiled and put it in the refrigerator to let it hang out until you want to peel it?
Well, I haven't tried that one yet.
Well, because my wife.
I would think that would be more difficult.
Well, it is.
You can keep them,
It's difficult.
you can keep them uncracked without the shell in the refrigerator for quite a lengthy time. Also,
Without the
you
shell.
don't have to always put them in there with the shell on them, and they will last for a while.
Yeah.
And you can Google or figure out or ask whomever, but it will tell you that. As a matter of fact, some eggs can last in your refrigerator up to 7 months, even though it says expired.
Okay. That's a new one. Expired eggs.
But anyways, I think it's all political to get Trump not to be able to win the election.
Yeah.
That's
Some-
what I think.
and
And I
there's-
think that they're using the sexual. I mean, sometimes you just pay people off to get rid of them for running their mouth. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't. I'm not one to judge. I don't have that right to do whatever. You know, it's the people who they vote for, and you know, everybody has their own opinion. Can agree and still be friends or disagree. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is political.
So
That's just my own personal.
So when
I
the
mean,
when the filing time comes around for local elections next go round, and if I change my name, would you vote for me?
What? I would do a background check about any sexual affairs back in 1990.
No, but if I decide to change my name and I legally change my name to none of the above, do you think I would win?
Possibly.
Without-
Hey, I know someone that did well. They didn't want to do this, but they did do that. There was an individual that, well, one of the, I don't know which office it was, but they wrote their own name in. They got their own vote, but they wrote it in.
Well, I know a lot of people who have done that.
Oh yeah, but
I mean, I wrote Don's name in one time too.
I think he wrote. I think he's the other person I'm talking about.
Probably. All right, Joy. I don't know.
Anyway.
Appreciate the information. So I should crack all those eggs and peel them while they're hot. Under
you run
running cold water.
Yes. Yeah, but make sure you run some cold water over the eggs in the pot. You know, after you take it off, just to cool it down a bit so you can touch them, and then you take them and on your countertop and knock all the way around, and you get a little crunchy. Not real crunchy, but I feel like I'm crazy. I sound like I'm crazy.
You know,
and then you put it back under the cold water and you start peeling it. It'll feel really easy.
It's discouraging to watch these people do it that I have seen do it. They'll crack it and it comes off. Half of the shell comes off at one time. Half of the shell comes off at the other. They got two half shells sitting there.
It happens to me a lot. I use the cold water thing.
Do what, Kelly?
I use the cold water thing. I don't have.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. Rayford needs to get together. It's okay.
So when Robbie boils the next
take it
dozen,
and-
you're coming over here
take it-
and
I'll show you.
you can not show me. I
We'll
want
do
you
a
to just do
class.
it.
I'll teach
We'll
you.
do it on
I
the
can do
air.
that. But make sure they're not fresh eggs.
Where do I get stale eggs?
Well, buy them at the grocery store and set them in your refrigerator for like a week.
Go back to the salt.
Don't get like some that expire like.
Yeah, don't eat them expired.
Do they have an
Yeah.
expiration date on the cartons?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yeah, there's Yeah,
Oh
I
my
throw them
God,
out when I hit
those
that
ones are-
day. Yeah.
Well, Robbie just takes them if they don't float, or if they do float, when she puts them in the cold water to start the stove,
Mm-hmm.
and
Uh-huh.
anything that floats, she throws away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
I usually save it for friends that I don't like.
And take some of that
You're unbelievable.
shell crack one and put it in there with colored flavoring will make them think
There you go.
something else. Or put
It's
it in
going from
ice.
Trump to rotten eggs.
Don't eat green eggs, right?
Yeah, so
Oh
do,
my gosh.
but do eat fried green tomatoes.
I don't like them, but some people do.
Yeah. I don't like.
I
fried
ain't
green
know. I
tomatoes.
don't really care for them either, but
I like my red maters, and I like them sweet and fully ripened on the vine.
Yep. Same.
Yes, with mayonnaise and Duke mayonnaise and
Gotta be
some
Dukes.
salt and pepper.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Thanks, Joy.
Wow.
Thank you, Joy.
Okay, we got
You're
several
welcome,
things here,
John.
Rayford.
I do too, but go ahead, Ray. You go first.
Robert is requesting that you repeat what you were saying yesterday about the new fishing regulations.
Okie dokie. If you are a recreational, that's what you need to pay attention to first. I'm going to try to get all of these species right. Speckled trout, you've got to report your catch to marine fisheries. Every time you catch a speckled trout, a striper, a redfish, a flounder, and if it's out of season, I'd probably not report it unless you just report it as catch and release. And I don't know whether that means report speckled trout and redfish if you catch and release them. I don't know whether you have to report those or not. It makes no sense, some of it, and it's confusing. Marine Fisheries, Division of Marine Fisheries,
Correct.
DMF. Division of Marine Fisheries.com. You can find out all of the latest fishing regulations. And I would strongly suggest anybody who's an average angler, that means male or female, I guess, or something else. If you are going to plan a big fishing trip, you're not absolutely sure what the fishing, go to the DMF website every Thursday before you plan your weekend fishing trips.
Good advice.
Why? Because they can change the regulations anytime they want to. They did it several years ago on a Wednesday or on a Thursday or a Friday.
Oh, gosh.
And gave everybody tickets on Saturday and Sunday.
Who are these people?
And then all those citations were dismissed by the courts.
I'm calling them and having them come on the show. And
So
we'll just
they don't do that anymore. They say if you check DMF on Thursdays, you will be good to go through the weekend. They won't change anything before the weekend. Okay? No Friday night document dumps
Wow.
like the politicians do.
Look, I got two real quick public
Now that's
service
one for you. Go ahead.
announcements.
There are a couple of other species out there. Stripers are one.
Yeah.
The redfish, speckled trout, flounder, but check the website.
I'll pull out the latest and put it on our website. I got two PSA announcements, public service announcements, real quick before Kelly gets to her story. Jacksonville, child alert. And Kelly has posted this on our page. Representatives with the North Carolina Department of Transportation has said Holly Shelter Road has been closed. Drivers are asked to use the alternate route on Halls Run Road to avoid travel delays. That's all they have. I do not know if this is before the bridge, after the bridge. I'm thinking probably after the bridge.
Which way you're coming from is
That's
after
right.
the bridge.
Well, true. If you're coming from 53, that makes sense. Anyway, the people around that area, they know the different alternate routes they can go. But that right at this moment is because there was a sinkhole. And starting Monday, Blue
Are there any
Creek.
fish in that sinkhole?
I don't know. It's just near the bridge.
Could have
Depends
some.
on what side of the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Blue Creek Road near Carlin Lane will be closed at 8 a.m. April 29th, which is Monday, and reopened by 5 p.m. on May 1st. And that work is to improve the drainage in that area. They're replacing the drainage pipes. So we'll try to keep everyone reminded of that. And
Okay,
where
I got
we go.
one more real quick here.
Okay.
I want y'all to be there on Saturday. Where's there? I want you to be.
It's going to be. It's going to
today.
be a
Easy day. It's going to be at Holly Ridge. Come on by, meet us. If you're, if you haven't, if you thought you lost us, now you've been found because we know where we are, and we'll tell you on Saturday. A lot of people down that area just don't even know we're on the air anymore.
I'm excited about.
So we're going to go out and meet and greet them on Saturday morning. I don't know how long it'll last. Don't know exactly what time it starts, but we will be there. It's a big bee thing that they got going on in Holly Ridge. Look at us around the axe throwing place. What is that?
I got a note for you. I looked it up for you. You were talking about weather radio.
Okay. Oh, that's the other one.
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, we will be there on Saturday. We'll talk with Dorothy Roy. We'll try to get her on the air perhaps maybe tomorrow morning around 7:30. See if we can get her on the air. I'll talk to her.
Okay, that'd be great.
And we'll get all the business out of the way. Now,
The business.
you got one.
Yes, and it's one that makes me mad even thinking about it. So over the weekend, is it the weekend? Yes, Saturday. A lady was driving drunk and crashed into a child's birthday party in a building, killed two kids, an 8 and 4-year-old brother. The list of people injured, the mom of the children and the 11-year-old brother of the children are in critical condition. The other injuries are, so the mom is 31, she's in critical condition. The brother, 11-year-old, is in critical condition. He is, among other things, a skull fracture, broken ribs, all kinds of stuff.
What's her history?
An 18-year-old woman in serious condition, a 16-year-old girl in serious condition, a 14-year-old boy in serious condition, 70-year-old woman, minor injuries, 66-year-old woman, minor injuries, 62-year-old woman, minor injuries, 57-year-old woman, minor injuries, and a 42-year-old man, minor injuries. So she has a history, according to reports, of
Why did I know this?
of substance abuse issues, and she didn't have any history of any like DUIs or anything like that. But she claimed there's always one glass of wine, there's always one glass,
No, it's
one
usually
beer,
two.
one glass. According to law enforcement, she had a significant blood alcohol level. She'd been at a bar a couple hours before. It happened about 3:00 in the afternoon. The judge set her bail at $1.5 million.
Good.
And because there's video evidence, there's pictures of her from people's Ring cameras and stuff speeding down the road. She either lost control or whatever happened and crashed right through the building. There's video of her crashing into the building. And the prosecutor said she suffers from a, quote, very severe substance abuse issue, which is corroborated by friends and family, and she creates a very high risk to the public. Her attorney wanted the bond to be set at $100,000, saying the client has a history of epileptic-type seizures in her legs. I don't know what that is. My daughter has epilepsy. I've never heard of this. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I've just never heard of it. And said she only had one glass of wine. It's always one, which I don't believe.
That's usually two. They always.
She was-
Also, I only had.
I've had people say I only drank one, but it was one what was
Came in
it,
a fi-
500 ounces? I
no,
mean,
5-gallon
yeah.
bucket.
And so the charges, her charges are 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of operating a vehicle while intoxicated causing death, and 4 counts of operating a vehicle while intoxicated causing serious injury. But I read more than 4 injuries, 4 people hospitalized.
Serious
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
Serious injury.
Well, I think it ought to be first-degree murder. I think
Can't do that. It's not premeditated.
if you got into a car,
It's not premeditated. You do not intend to do it.
okay. I don't agree with that, but I hear you. I understand
The
what
law
you're
is the
saying.
law.
I know. I think in this case, things need to be changed, but neither here nor there.
They're lucky that they charged her with second-degree murder.
Well, they
Involuntary
did, yeah.
manslaughter is probably going to be her plea.
Right.
They're in Michigan. And she's 66 years old.
Mhm.
So it's very sad that
Did
the
they do a-
8-year-old
did
and
they do a
4-year-old.
blood test on her?
Yes. And they said it's her blood out. They didn't say what it
Forget the
was.
blood alcohol. Did they do a blood test? Suck out some blood.
I don't think
They
it
must
went into
have,
it.
for the fact that they said that they did not think a seizure was even involved. She didn't have one. And trust me, you can tell for that. I mean, that's what she's claiming.
Mhm.
And they said it did not appear that was,
Was there any other substances in her blood?
they didn't say.
They
They
should have
just
gotten a
said she
search
had a
warrant.
significant blood alcohol
Should have
level.
gotten a search
Yeah.
warrant and taken her blood,
Yeah, they
I'm
didn't
sure
say
they-
that.
because that would have compounded
Hopefully
the
they
charges.
I bet they did. If
Hopefully
they,
they
yeah, but it did not say. It's just very sad. And the reason I brought this up with 2, 1, it's infuriating, but 2, in this day and age, and this goes out for everybody, we have Lyft, we have Uber, you have friends, you have
got Yellow
family.
Cab, okay,
There's
folks?
taxi. Yeah. Call Yellow Cab. There's too many reasons why a person should not drink and drive in this day and age. There's no reason why this could have 100% been prevented, period.
I agree, but your big issue is you got those people who think that I'm fine, I'm fine.
Mhm.
And look what happens now. You're
Did
gonna
it
be
say
fine.
what the
or you
blood
could-
alcohol content was?
No, they just said it was very high, quote. Not
That's
saying.
subjective.
And here's what may happen too. They can also charge the bartender.
Of course, yes. If they continue.
They can prove that she was impaired when she was being served drinks.
Mhm.
Yes, that's going to be a subjective thing as well, as we know.
Yeah.
If she's experienced, she could have been sitting there and just, having
Mhm.
3 or 4 drinks. She could have had 7 drinks at another place, 2 drinks here, 2 drinks there. She could have had a bottle in the car. You just do not know what is going on.
Apparently, according to this, she was at one place for the whole afternoon. Was she? Well, it was Saturday, so, but yeah. And this
Okay.
happened around 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
So it's just very sad. So people, if
It's-
you're going to
it's very
drink
sad,
at
very
events,
sad.
and that's fine if you want to do that, Just don't drink and drive. Period. Just don't do it.
Find a ride.
Yep.
All right, let's take a break here live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Mr. Bragg and what one really smart law professor says may be a problem for him.
Freedom 97.1.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
Welcome to Lane Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry, the Jacksonville and Morgan offices of Lane Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. All ages and accepts all major insurances. Lane Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane Associates Family Dentistry.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760. When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with the Jacksonville Heating Contractor Service Agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Okay, Nikki, we're back. And let's go back up there to New York for just a minute or two. I don't want to spend too much time there. I get the heebie-jeebies. A law professor is saying that this whole thing, Alvin Bragg's case against Trump, is a historic mistake. That's what he's calling it. He's had a guest essay in New York Times. Boston University law professor Jed Handelsman Shirkman argues that Bragg was overreaching in his attempts to try a federal election crime under New York state law. I've had that feeling all along. What is wrong? Why is this happening? Why is this not being tried by a federal court? He said the Manhattan's DA allegation against Trump was vague since the prosecution failed to specify an election crime or a valid theory of fraud. Trump faces 34 counts of falsifying business records in relation to alleged hush money payments made to porn star Stormy Daniels prior to the 2016 election. The presumptive GOP presidential nominee returned to court Tuesday as the trial continued. Sugarman suggested Bragg should instead center his argument around the idea that, in his words, it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. A lot of other people had pointed that out and pointed to allegedly falsified business records. Most of them, he said, were entered in early 2017, generally before Trump filed his Federal Election Commission report that summer. Okay, that is part of the problem. The reason he said it before he had to file any reports, that is what supposedly the DA says all of this occurred, and he's filing it under an election crime. That may be a little bit of fly in the ointment for him. Mr. Trump may have falsely recorded, he said, these internal records before the FEC filing as consciously part of the same fraud to create a consistent paper trail and to hide intent to violate federal election laws or defraud the FEC. Bragg's election interference theory is weak, he said. As a reality check, it is legal for a candidate to pay for a non-disclosure agreement. Quit calling it hush money, he says. It's a non-disclosure agreement. There are a lot of people who pay money for non-disclosures. Employees are hired. In other words, there's a contract. You will not be able to disclose anything from this business about this business now or at any time that before I hire you. And if you agree to that, that is a contract and it's binding. It is a non-disclosure agreement.
That's right. Yeah.
It's very binding. So I don't know what kind of paper that Trump had or Trump's attorney had with the hooker. Do you? I've heard that there were contracts that were signed, non-disclosure agreements that the DA and others are calling hush money. Is it hush money or is it a non-disclosure payment?
You know, reading the prosecutor's statement and the charges being levied against Trump, I just don't see it as being criminal. Now, I don't know all the details of the case. I will give it that.
I don't know either.
But not from the prosecutor's statement. I'm just like, really?
This is going to be tough.
Really? Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough call. Now, Trump will just be quiet and stay quiet.
Trump's lawyers have argued that the New York statute requires that the underlying crime must also be a New York crime, not a crime in another jurisdiction. He said there's another problem. The president in New York did not allow an interpretation of defrauding the general public. Don't know. It's something I have a problem with. No, I don't want anyone, much less a political leader, to even attempt to defraud or scam me. I know they do it all the time when they're in office, when they're running for office. However, I've previously questioned whether what I don't like and is a violation of any laws. If someone was tried for all of the things I don't like, the courts would never get anything done. Okay, you agree with that, right?
I agree with that.
Okay, we're back on the phone. I think, is this Joy again?
We also got to take a break.
I forgot something.
Okay.
Whoops.
I have a friend at my home, and we spent holidays together. And she dated Donald Trump at the age of about 20-something, and he was 40-something. Divorced from his first wife. And she said, well, we've talked at length several times, that he was a gentleman. He treated her with kindness. He did not do anything to take advantage of her. Matter of fact, when all this started happening a few years ago, when people were coming back to on his side to give their versions of the relationships that they had with him, she was one that was called back. She became she was a model when he met her. She was Miss Maryland, I think. So there's a lot of stuff that people don't know, and we've talked at length about certain things. But anyways, I have had a one-on-one with someone that has been with Donald Trump.
Okay, well, let me ask you, you still have contact with this young lady, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, at some point in time, if she's willing, without giving a name or any specifics that would nail it down to who she is, I would love to chat with her on the air.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Talk with her. See if she'd do it.
I can. I'm sorry, sir.
Talk with her and find out if she would do it. We'd have a good time. I mean, you know, and we're going to be fair and we're not going to be judgmental. We're not going to do it.
She doesn't hold anything back either. I mean,
Okay.
she's matter of fact, she's on YouTube in a lot of her videos.
Okay.
Where she was interviewed. But yes, she doesn't
She's got a telephone.
to do that, and then I'll get up with Lee or whomever, Kelly, you, and see if she'd like to do that. Now, I don't know that she would, but I'll be glad to ask her.
Ask her if she will.
She's got some very interesting things to say about him.
Okay. Love to hear them.
Okay.
All right.
I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to let you know that. I
Yep.
forgot about that.
But yeah, just talk with her and find out. We'll need as fast notice as possible because we want to book out some time. And you've got my number, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Give me a call.
Oh, well, I don't think I have your. No, I've got title. I don't have yours.
No, you don't have that.
You can
did-
private message me. Or somebody can private message me.
I'll message it to
Yep,
you.
send her my number. Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You too. Wow.
Commercial? Do we
Yeah.
do commercial?
We got to do a commercial. You're like that one caught me by surprise. You're live in local real talk. We'll be right back.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011 Lee Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tool fasteners, electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and custom threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill for Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011 B Bridges Street, Morris City. Open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 to 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Chino Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Chino Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Chino Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Since the 1930s, people have trusted the local law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick for personal injury, family law representation, and traffic offenses. That's over 90 years serving the legal needs of people throughout Onslow County, which makes the law offices of John Drew Warlick your hometown law firm. So when you need the services of an attorney, and at some point most people will, the law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick is here for you. For an appointment, phone 910-455-7700 or visit their location, 313 New Bridge Street, right here in downtown Jacksonville.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
The Cub Cadet Ultimate Sales Event is here. Now through May 18th, save on select Cub Cadet lawnmowers, including both gas and battery-powered zero-turns and lawn tractors. The Cub Cadet Ultimate Series, which includes both lap bar and steering wheel models with heavy-duty mowing decks available in a variety of sizes designed to deliver a premium cut. And Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Don't wait. The Ultimate Sales Event ends May 18th. Head to Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service. Offer valid 4/14/24 through 5/18/24. Participating Cub Cadet dealers and online at cubcadet.com. Prices may vary by retailer, may not be combined with any other discount or offer, does not apply to prior purchases. Other restrictions apply. Void where prohibited.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, a lot of stuff we did not have time to get to this morning, but appreciate all the phone calls as usual.
But there is something important I want to say.
What's that?
And congratulations to White Oak High School for earning the American College Campaign School of Excellence honor.
Okay,
Way to
good for them.
go, White Oak.
Okay, Saturday, the event is from 10 until 3. The bee event, they're recognizing bees and stuff like that at Holly Ridge. It's going to be a huge event. It's going to be nice. And I'd like to have a bee outfit, one of them bee.
You can wear that. We'll dress up as bumblebees. Not.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
No.
Okay, and on next Wednesday, a week from today, beginning at 11 o'clock in the morning, lasting through 6:30, through the 6 o'clock news on WCTI, going to have Donnie. Donnie Cox is going to be in Richlands on next Wednesday, the 1st, from 11 until 6:30 at the Piggly Wiggly there. And he's going to be, the Piggly Wiggly in Richlands and the one in Swansboro have radios for sale. And they're going to be selling the NOAA weather radios. And there will be some amateur radio operators from the Onslow Amateur Radio Club there. And also Donnie will be there. They'll be programming the radios for you. You buy one or you bring your radio by or whatever, and they'll help you make sure your radio is working. And I may design something between now and then for folks who live in an area that they have a little trouble picking up the stations, the NOAA stations. I've got to develop a really quick, cheap, and easy antenna for folks to use.
I'm buying a new one. The one I've had just...
Yeah, well, I had to throw mine in the garbage. Finally just wore it flat out.
Mine's never worked right.
So, but anyway, mine always worked right. And the one that I got now just doesn't quite pick up the station like it should be. The signal is not as strong. So I'm going to try an antenna, then I'm going to throw it in the garbage and give you another one.
I might have to do that too, because with the metal roof on my house, it's interferes.
Now the programming involves the folks there. They've got some codes for all of the counties. Program all the counties. You don't program anything, but if you want to isolate it to your county, that's okay. I would strongly recommend, especially those of you who are living on the border of another county, get it for the other county, surrounding county or counties as well. Why? Because weather systems move. A weather system moving and it shows up coming the northwest, comes down through Jones County. It going to hit Onslow County, y'all. If it's one that's down coming up from, which quite often we get, especially thunderstorms during the summertime, moving up from our south and southwest down the coast a bit and coming up across South Carolina into North Carolina, you may want to take a look at Pender County at least, because by the time he gets to Pender County, Onslow County is next in the path. Okay.
It's very good.
Me, I kind of look for New Hanover County as well, particularly for coastal, strong coastal storms during the summertime coming up the coast and impacting us right here along the coast. And then, of course, I like Carteret County as well and Craven County. So those are about 5 counties that I have programmed in mind. That might be something you want to keep in mind. Again, that's going to be from 11 until 6:30 next Monday in Richlands at the Piggly Wiggly. And on the 15th, 2 weeks later, same time at the Swansboro Piggly Wiggly. Guess where that is?
Swansboro.
Good, you're paying attention. Have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about something near and dear to my heart. It's involving, of course, Coast Guard and boating safety. We're going to have to do a couple of fine gentlemen in here, know both of them fairly well. And they're going to be in here talking about what Coast Guard Auxiliary does and what they do, and some boating tips and safety inspections. Meanwhile, have a great rest of your day. Coming up now, following news break, we'll have a little music interlude, and then at 10 o'clock this morning, we're going to have another dose of the Daily D's with that guy. He's a comic.
He is a comic.
He's really cool. Got great tips. Hollywood, the man, the WSMD man.
It's our star.
Chris Man Hollywood. Chris Hollywood Man.
There you go.
Either way.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. It's going to be really good weather. Get out and enjoy it, but don't overdo it.
WFNU, Jeff LeJeune.